What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. Today we're going over how to play Citrine, the newest Warframe added to the game, and a very powerful Warframe, honestly. We'll be going over her synergies with weapons, how you can use her against high-level enemies, and, what you can provide to your team as this character. Before we get into it, though, make sure you check out the live stream channel. We do live streams almost every day, and make sure you sub to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, making sure we keep up to date with those newest updates. Alright, so Citrine, she is going to be coming, the parts of her will drop from Mere Defense. You can also technically just buy her from the market if you don't want to be flying around in circles as Titania all day. So as far as the abilities, her passive is actually pretty powerful. And just a reminder, this frame was basically made by DE in like 3 weeks, it seems like. So she's very well designed for coming out in 3 weeks. But as far as the passive, she grants herself and allies 5 health regen per second. Picking up a health orb increases the regen by 0.1 up to a maximum of 25 health regen per second. Very powerful passive for normal level content, as, enemies don't deal a ton of damage at lower levels. And we combine this with other abilities, that small amount of health regen goes a long way, especially when stacked with other types of health regen. So, pretty powerful passive. It does scale up over the course of the mission, too. And one of her abilities makes health orbs drop, so you're going to get this stacked up relatively fast if you're playing her right. The first ability is called Fractured Blast. And what this will do is you basically throw some gems at the enemies, and, we'll just show it in the simulacrum. It's going to make it where the enemies that die, while affected by this debuff, are going to be giving you health orbs and energy orbs with a percent chance to drop. The percent chance to drop goes up with strength. It will also cause a small amount of damage on the enemy, as you can see right here. It doesn't last super long, but when they have the gem icon above their head, they're taking a slash proc, and of course if you were to kill them, they will potentially drop orbs in the area. So, debuff and then kill, and as you saw right there, those guys, we actually got kind of lucky. With our build, since we don't have a ton of power strength, that chance is going to be a guaranteed health orb drop, but only a 45% energy orb drop. So if you really, really stack a ton of strength, you can get guaranteed orbs per every kill. But if you run the Equilibrium mod, this basically turns health orbs into energy orbs anyway, so just double duty on the orbs pretty much. Doesn't deal a ton of damage, but as far as support goes, this is a way you can support your teammates by giving them tons of orbs, tons of health orbs, tons of energy orbs, and things like that. The damage of this ability is nothing to write home about. You're basically modding for strength on this to get more orbs to drop. And as you can see, 114% energy health orb drop chance. So that's a guaranteed health orb with a 14% chance for 2 health orbs. So very nice there. And this is actually a very quickly castable ability. So as far as shield getting is concerned, if you throw in like natural talent and some casting speed shards, you can shield gate over and over and over again. And I'll just quickly show you how that works. If you don't know how shield gating works, basically when you have an entire shield, like your entire shield bar is full, and then you get shot by an enemy and it breaks the shield, you can, if you can get your shield back instantly, you will be able to get 2 seconds of invincibility over and over again. They're actually paused right now, so let's unpause them. So this is just how this can work. This can work on any frame if you can do it right. Shield gate. See them shoot them again. Shield gate. Shield gate. Okay, well, I technically did it wrong there, but yeah, you can do that over and over again as long as you're paying enough attention. So, yeah, that's pretty nice for a first ability. Keep in mind that is also her Helminth ability, but the numbers on the Helminth ability are nerfed. So instead of a 50% health orb drop chance, it's like a 25%, and instead of a 20% energy orb chance, it's a 10% chance. So you're going to jam a ton of strength, and you're basically not going to get any energy orbs from it. So at least a good shield getting ability as far as Helminth's concerned. Let's move on to the next ability here. We got Preserving Shell, another support type ability. Casting this will make herself and nearby allies have damage reduction, which scales with strength. With a little bit over 200% strength, you get 90% damage reduction right off the bat. Another thing about this is kind of nice is that getting kills or assists will actually increase the damage reduction. So if you're not, let's say you don't have enough strength to get to 90 right away, getting some kills will get you to 90, and if you recast the ability again, you will keep that 90% DR that you snapshot previously. So this is not a health build really right now, but let's just see. We'll have a couple of these gunners. Let's get like 2 of them, and let's see if we can health tank with this ability up. It's 90% damage reduction, as I said. So we use that, and we have a little bit of health regen built in. We're 81% damage reduction right now. So honestly, not that bad for just initially having that much damage reduction. And there's her signature scythe, the Corufel. Actually a pretty nice weapon. I'll have a ribbon rolling video and a build guide on that coming out very soon. So yeah, this gives 90% damage reduction to you and your teammates. I have 6 different builds for you today, and one of them is a health tank build using this ability. So very nice right there. Her third ability is a little bit more confusing. It's going to be basically I'm going to call it like a status turret. You throw out this gem, and it's going to shoot at enemies and cause procs on them. Cold, heat, electric, and toxin procs. If you already have damaged the enemy. If you have not damaged the enemy, this ability does basically nothing. Well, I guess technically it does give you a status chance and status duration buff, but that's only when you're nearby the crystal. So this will also work for your teammates, of course, too. It will give them a status chance and status duration buff. Very good for weapons like the Bubonico or other status proc guns, just to get lots and lots of status chance. Like, you will be overloaded on status chance. So we throw the gem out, and as you can see, it's doing literally nothing to these enemies right now. And if you throw the gems at them, now it's like, okay, now it wants to shoot them with its procs. And as you can see, lots of procs on them. If you use a weapon with condition overload, like her special scythe, it gives you tons and tons of damage. And you can debuff them, soften them up, and there you go. Orbs are dropping. You can kind of see the support playstyles coming into play here. Speaking of support abilities, that's what her fourth ability is going to be. It's going to be called Crystallize. And it's got a really, really long cast time, but it's worth it for what you get out of this ability. So you cast it, and it releases these crystal waves that chase down enemies. And once it hits an enemy, it will, if they don't have Overguard active, it will freeze them in place and create this gigantic crystal on them. Shooting that crystal will give you guaranteed red crits with weapons. And when I say that, I mean, yeah, actually guaranteed red crits with weapons. If we look at the weapon I have equipped right now, I have a 1% crit chance weapon equipped in my primary slot, the Sporothrix. 1% crit chance, 3 times crit multiplier. So this thing never normally gets crits, but since we are playing Citrine, we shoot the crystal, that 1% crit chance becomes 300% crit chance, and as you can see, massive crit multiplier at 14.6. We're basically getting like 45 damage worth of bullet in one trigger pull with Citrine, using the Sporothrix. It's one of the craziest guns for her, but as I said earlier, if there's an enemy with Overguard, like a Thrax, they will not get frozen, but they will still get the crystal placed on them, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and show the Sporothrix over here with no Helminth ability. Okay, so we can also place down the crystal too to give us more status chance and status duration. So as you can see right there, that guy's still moving around with a crystal on him. And you have to hit the crystal like basically directly to get the number. And there's the red crit right there. So there's lots of things you can do synergy-wise on Citrine. For example, the Phantasma Prime, one of the newest prime weapons in the game, has pretty good crit damage, but not that much crit chance. On Citrine, the Phantasma Prime does crazy, crazy damage, and lots of red crits, too. So, yeah, if you use weapons with low crit chance and high crit damage, you can become like a DPS god. And of course, those crystals, your teammates shooting those crystals makes them get guaranteed red crits, too. So let's start going over the build and what kind of synergy you can go for here on Citrine. Now, as far as shards, we have multiple casting speed shards and multiple power strength shards, because her casting speed is terrible. That was with natural talent and casting speed shards right there, by the way. So for the no Helminth build, we've got a good amount of strength, so we can get basically guaranteed health orbs. We got equilibrium, so picking up that health orb makes it you get energy, and vice versa. Energy orbs gives you health. She actually can pick up health orbs even when she's not low health, so that's pretty nice. You can get tons and tons of energy with her. We want a good amount of range, so our turret can cover a big area. We want to have a good amount of range so we can also make sure our teammates are getting hit. Actually, this is affinity range. So range doesn't really affect the second ability very much, but it's very useful for the first ability, making sure you can debuff enemies, and the fourth ability to make the targeting range for the 4 even better. So you don't need too much range on her, but for certain builds, you're going to want range on her. Biggest things here are strength, duration, and range. Of course, you get so many orbs that you don't need efficiency, really. So you can go for blind range. And we got brief respite, 1 auger mod, and we got 2 auger mods in our pistol to fully shield gate by casting her 1, which is a very, very quick cast time. I know we have Arcane Blessing on here. That's just because Arcane Blessing is very nice with her. As her passive, the more health orbs you pick up, the more health regen you get. It's a similar situation with Arcane Blessing. The more health orbs you pick up, the more maximum health you get. As far as level 10,000 missions, though, this is not really the best way to do it. You probably want to do something more like this with Helminth, where we've got Terrify from Necros, giving us full armor strip. And we've also got Creep and Terrify to get enemies slowed down. So the combination of this with our crystals, full armor strip, guaranteed red crits, you can kill really high level enemies with Citrine extremely easily. Not to mention all this status chance. The amount of weapons she's synergistic with is very, very nice. I'd also recommend running Prime Flow on her, as she only has 180 energy at base. And if you're running Blind Rage, your fourth ability is going to cost like 150 energy. So yeah, this will be fully shield gate. Or this is full shield gate with 2 auger mods on the pistol and brief respite. That's solo too. Of course, if you have multiple teammates with brief respite, you can do that differently as well. Moving on to the next build, we got Nourish shield gating. It's going to be using the Nourish ability from Grendel, and this one's going to make it where you get increased viral damage. This has no armor strip, to be fair, but this will give you even more energy from picking up those orbs, as well as, you know, giving you just more viral damage, which can be nice shooting that crystallized area. As far as the health tank build, this is the one that I think is probably the most chill and easy for low levels. We got Arcane Blessing and Multi-Augmented. Of course, you could go Arcane Energize, you feel like you're running out of energy or something. But yeah, also, this is an Umbra form of, or an Umbra build with no Umbra form. If you were an Umbra form of this, you could, you know, not run Steel Charge, you could run other things. Let's quickly show how this health tank build works against those heavy gunners we were just fighting. Alright, and we'll have some level 10,000 gameplay as well, against the Thrax. Of course, I forgot to unpause them again. So as far as like what I recommend that you get her, is she worth getting? I think she is worth getting, actually. She's not going to be replacing Wisp, of course, but I mean, this is pretty nice right here. I'm health tanking this relatively well. Of course, I could just freeze these guys solid and just like one-shot them, but you know, I want to show you how the health tank went. So yeah, Sporothrix is pretty hilarious with her. Some other weapons that are hilarious with her, I use the Phantasma Prime, like I said, the Quellor, the Bubonico is the one I'll be showing you the footage today, and yeah, just basically any good weapon. You have to directly hit the crystal to do it. Here's another build right here, Mark for Death. I haven't heard about that ability in a while, have you? So once you crystallize an enemy, you can use Mark for Death on them to transfer the whatever slash proc they have in an area. So that will be very nice with her crystallize. We'll just quickly show that as well, just an example of it. I'm not going to show like extensive gameplay of every build here because we have 6 different builds. I'll be showing extensive gameplay of the Terrify build, though, because we did do level 10,000 with the Terrify build twice last night. So you cast Crystallize, and then you hit an enemy with Mark for Death, and that should transfer the slash proc to all of them. It didn't work the way I wanted it to. We can just do it again. Okay, well, that was a kind of weak slash proc. It's supposed to transfer a gigantic slash proc, but it doesn't feel like doing it today, apparently. So, Mark for Death is still a kind of janky ability. Let's try it one more time. Alright. It didn't want to work. Okay, well, either way, you can transfer the slash proc with Mark for Death. I wouldn't really recommend it that much, but it is technically a thing that you can do. Reminder that Mark for Death does stun overguarded enemies as well. And then the final build is a build for grouping enemies up. You can either do Pull from Mag, you could do Ensnare from Korra, Gyre's Coil Horizon, I guess you could try that too. But the one I'm using right now is Pull. I haven't used this build too much, so I don't say I'd fully recommend it yet. But I've tested out these 4 builds the most. No Helminth, Armor Strip, Nourish, and Health Tank. The Mark for Death one is still experimental. It does work in the simulacrum at least, but yeah, in actual mission, I haven't really thoroughly tested it. So let's get some level 10k gameplay on the screen, and we'll talk about, you know, Citrine. Is she a must-have frame? Is she a passable frame? I'd say she's in between good and must-have. She's extremely nice for, you know, everyday gameplay missions. Her support abilities are relatively nice too. You know, if you're actually playing her, she's not as lazy as Wisp. I'll say that. She's not as lazy as Wisp. You just place the motes down, everyone's getting helped. With her, it's like, the way she's helping is not as clear right away. Now, she does give the 90% DR to your whole team, which is nice. But yeah, the crystallized thing, it's going to really depend what kind of mission you're on right now. My teammates are nowhere near me right now. I'm not helping them at all. With Wisp, it'd be like, okay, you place the motes down, they're carrying those motes around as long as the duration lasts. For Citrine, it's like they have to be nearby you pretty much to get support. They have to get support from the status chance of the crystal, from getting the guaranteed red crits from your crystallize, and basically like getting energy orbs to drop, and the DRs technically. So she does a good amount of support things when you think about it, and health regen from her passive, of course. But I just feel like Wisp is more powerful most of the time, giving you an increased fire rate buff, giving you a movement speed buff, which is very nice for missions like this, getting from point A to point B. Her buffs are more things that are like powerful at lower levels, besides the status chance, status duration. Status chance, status duration, and guaranteed red crits, those are great at high levels too. But at the same time, you know, like, she's more for fun. I think she's more fun than Wisp, but Wisp has more powerful abilities. Like, for example, Wisp is invisible while airborne. That's kind of crazy, dude. That's one of Wisp's passives. Invisible while airborne. Citrine's passive is like meant for like low level missions, for like health tanking and stuff. So if you use that Umbral health tank build, I mean, it's like you can face tank the steel path of that Umbral health tank build, honestly. Eventually it will fall off, but that's the same thing with every Umbral health tank build. Even Inaros gets one shot like a couple hundred levels in. So That's one of the reasons I put Rolling Guard on that health tank build is because you do want, at least for like status procs, if you get status proc, you're going to want to like knock that status proc off with Rolling Guard or something like that. So right here, I could have definitely survived right there if I would have used her one ability, because I would have shield gated, but I want to kill that Thrax. So, you know, level 10k enemies are going to kill you in basically one bullet, so you got to be careful about that. But yeah, you know, I technically could have survived there if I played properly, so. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think she is definitely a good frame you should have, but is there any rush to get her? No, don't rush her with Plat unless you're just really excited about it. I like her better. I think she's better than Varuna, technically. Varuna's invisibility frame, but Varuna didn't really do too much for her teammates. Like, Varuna's support for her team was giving status procs and giving, like, orb drops with Lycast Hunt. That's what Citrine does, just much better. Basically, guaranteed orbs, not even having to get the kill yourself, and also she's going to be giving you status chance and status duration buffs, and her crystal turret will give you 4 extra procs as well. The crystal turret doesn't really kill stuff unless they're armor stripped, especially at like a level like this. The crystal turret will never kill enemies at this level unless they're just standing still for a long time. So, as far as the builds I'm using in this footage, I'm going to just quickly flash the Bubonico build and the Glaive build on the screen, just in case you guys want to see those. Now, they are using ribbons, just to put that in perspective. And also, if you want to hit level 10,000, Steel Path Void Cascade is the way to do it. It's extremely fast. We got to level 10,000 like an hour, and you could actually do it faster than that if you like literally spawn kill. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that she's like a meta frame for level 10k at all, unless you just want to be goofing off and get some guaranteed red crits. Frames like Zaku and Ashe and all that are still going to be the level 10k meta. Alright, so for the Bubonico build, we are running a viral build with basically just tons and tons of procs. Cleanse Grenier is not useful against Thrax enemies, so it didn't really do much there, but I have a anti-Grenier Ribbon too. So yeah, this can kill level 10,000 enemies, get some Deadhead stacks or whatever. I was actually using Dexterity in the video, so whenever I got Glaive kills, it would give me stacks of damage for my Bubonico, but I actually didn't like that in the long run. I probably would have gone with Deadhead in the end. And here's the Glaive build. I have a initial combo Ribbon for the Glaive, so this can still one-shot level 10,000 enemies. So if you don't have this, you probably do want to get something like that, but you can just throw like a Bane mod on there or something. Technically, we're losing out on some damage not running a Bane mod there. But yeah, initial combo, 3x build can kill level 10ks on the Glaive. And same for the Cerata. If you're fighting the Corpus, same thing, same type of build, but just use the Cerata instead of the Glaive. It does a guaranteed Toxin proc instead of a guaranteed Slash proc. And yeah, you will literally one-shot level 10,000 Steel Path Corpus with a build like this. So, yeah. Hope you guys found the video fun and helpful. Let me know about some Citrine builds you use in the comments down below. I have some other ideas, and I want to test the Mark for Death one out a little bit more. But yeah, proof of concept. Oh, by the way, the Sporothrix Riven. I'm going to be trying the Sporothrix with her probably in like the next couple days against level 10,000. I see no reason why this couldn't one-shot level 10,000, especially with a Riven like this. We have a 14.6 multiplier, and red crits apply the crit chance multiple times, or the crit damage multiple times. So it's pretty nasty. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate all the support. Take it easy. Peace!